a fire pit that I found on Facebook Marketplace. It's a propane fire tank that I think I want to transfer into a wood burning one. I'm just using the shell of the table for what I want my future fire pit to be. But I have to pick up my sister's car because, yeah, it won't fit in my car. Okay, so I'm just waiting at this Dollar General to pick up this fire pit. Hi!
But also, I want to explain what I just did.
Okay.
If I can load it, I take it up there.
Oh, yeah.
If I
You're
can't,
fine.
I don't give anybody my address unless they're there.
Gotcha.
90%
Right.
so,
Or
I'm
they
sorry.
don't show up. Yeah, no worries. Okay.
Well, I used it out here.
Yeah.
But now that I'm closing it in, you okay with that? Yeah, I'm okay with that. Oh, and that's the cover, but you're just not near the glass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm excited. I've been looking for one of these.
And when you go out, would you back in right here and go out nose first? People drive this racetrack.
Oh.
You can see those skid marks from 2 nights ago. They were going really fast. Have a good afternoon.
Thanks, you too. Okay. I was like shaking. I don't know. So here's the thing. I park at the Dollar General and then I say I'm here, and then she says, okay, now drive 4 houses down the road. I'm 4 houses away. I'll stand at my mailbox. I'm wearing a red ball cap. And I got really sketched out by that, but I was like, okay, I'm just gonna drive by and see what she looks like. And I saw her. I just decided to do it. I mean, her driveway was right on the street. There was a group of kids right down the street. So there were people around. It was a busy street. Her driveway was really short. Like, I could be seen. I was very visible from the street. So because of that, I decided to stop. And I'm very glad I did. And I don't know that I can pick this up by myself. Might need to go pick up one of my family members. Well, if I take the center out, yeah, I might be able to. Okay, that's all. Okay, let's see if I can actually lift this. Okay, this fell over, but I can do it. So there she is, and my plan is to remove this propane and put like a solo stove or something similar in this spot. That way it's wood burning, and then this is like a granite countertop, which is really nice. And then I'll need to address some of these rust spots too. I should probably Google this. Okay, so got the gas and stuff disconnected. Good to know that these granite slabs come out of here so that I can kind of refinish the areas where it's rusted. Okay, so I ended up ordering a Solo stove to put in here in place of like where the gas was. But I think with the height of it, I'm gonna need to remove this little shelf here. So I'm gonna do that. I don't think it's supposed to get here till later on next week, but that way it'll be one less thing to do when I actually get it in. Okay, so there's a trick where you put this rubber band over it and it's supposed to help it grip. It's supposed to be a wide rubber band, but I don't have one of those, so. Yeah, this thing is really in here. So I think I'm just gonna like break this because I don't need it, so. I think this is my only option. Cool. Okay, so I'm on the hunt for a nut to attach to this bolt because that like bottom little shelf, the inner ring that I just tore off, was kind of keeping the table a little bit stable, and one of the bolts that attaches the legs to the top of the table was missing. So one of the legs was just, you know, really wiggly. So I need to find a nut to match this bolt. So I'm just looking through all of my miscellaneous things here. Okay, so I actually found something. I have this little wing nut and it'll be underneath the table, I guess, so you won't see it, so it'll be fine that it doesn't match. Also, I meant to say this when I first got in here, but literally everyone is outside right now. I mean, it's a nice fall evening, but geez, everyone is outside. Like, not a single person around me is not outside. So, oh well. I like my peace and quiet, and I like my my silence out in nature, like to listen to the nature, but there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on right now. I'm kind of wondering if there's a way to cut out all of this mesh just to have the ring back in there to stabilize the legs. But I don't have anything to do that. I think it's fine. Okay, the universe is really testing me today. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking that the table would be really stable without that ring at the bottom. I don't know what I was thinking. So luckily it didn't completely break when I ripped it. And I think, if anything, if I hammer the metal back down, because it kind of came apart a little bit, if I hammer that down and make it smooth, like a flat circle again, I think most of the screws should screw back in. The thing is, I really just need some sort of tool to cut the like mesh metal interior part of the circle out, and I think I'm gonna go get some bolt cutters and see if that does the trick. Luckily there's these big openings where I can get the bolt cutter in there, and I think just go around in the circle and cut it. It's gonna be really annoying. And I think I'm gonna have to end up sanding it to smooth down all the sharp edges, as well as spray paint it so that it doesn't rust. So really I am making this really complicated. And this has just become a lot more work than I thought it was gonna be. This table was not in good of a shape as I thought it was. So that's annoying. Am I gonna be spending basically as much money as I would if I had bought it new? I don't know. I think it was probably like $300 and I got it for $80. And I've spent, well, considering I bought a solo stove to go inside of it, I mean, I am probably spending about as much, but I'm getting a wood burning fire pit. I'm gonna have to buy paint. That's fine. And then these bolt cutters, like, I'll need them again at some point. This is really getting to be a whole thing. This is what I do though. I think the best of everything, and I think that it's gonna be easy, and I think that it's just gonna work out. And then I get thrown with all these challenges because I didn't quite think it through all the way. But you know what? There's a solution for every problem. So you just gotta find the solutions and keep going. Okay, so these are cutters. These are dangerous. These are not for dogs. I got some diagonal cutting pliers because I read that those would be better for a curved surface. For the sharp bits, I got this half round file, this rust dissolver jelly for, I don't know if there's necessarily any rust on this, but for the rest of the fire pit, the frame, where there's rust, I'm gonna brush it off with like a hard wire brush, and then put this on there, rinse that off, and then finish it with some Rust-Oleum high heat spray paint. So this is my plan. And really it all depends on if these are gonna work or not. Okay, I don't know. I will say this one is the thickest. Where these little half circles are a lot thicker, so maybe that's the worst part. I had my vein procedure yesterday, and I've been doing stuff on my leg all day, so I need to chill. I really need to chill. I'm so glad that this is working. I'm so glad. I also feel like I should use some better safety goggles, just in case. Okay. Got my actual safety goggles for safety. Who does things like this, you know? Yeah, really this is pretty ideal because it's kind of just pulling out from in between, so there isn't really too many sharp edges. It's gonna take a really long time. Ow. Ooh, that did not feel good in my wrist. The more I do this, the scarier it gets, because now there's a bunch of sharp metal. Yeah, I think I would like to take a moment here to say that I don't recommend this. You should not do this. Please do not use me as an example. This is something you should not do. Yeah, you should absolutely get a correct tool for this. I don't know what that would be, but I don't think this is it. My arm is so tired. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes though, and I'm halfway done. Wouldn't it be cool if I could weld? That'd be cool. I mean, honestly, I'm scared to use most power tools. Welding seems scary, but I just want to make all this stuff myself. Like, there's so many things that I want to do, and I just don't have the tools or the skills. And then I feel like it's kind of hard to find people who will put up with my vision for things unless I have to pay them a ton of money. That's not really something that I have at the moment. I was a dental assistant when I first graduated college before I went back for interior design. Yeah, I was an orthodontic assistant. So tools like this really just kind of remind me of that. I don't know, I feel comfortable using them like this. Starting to like bend wires and stuff in people's mouths, you know? Kind of the same skill. Okay, for real though, after I finish this, I need to let my leg rest and let my heart rate go down because I have been doing activity the entire day. I mean, not the entire day, but a lot of the day. Yay! Okay, my stability ring is back. It is the next day. So the next step in the saga for transforming this old propane fire pit into a surround for my solo stove, I'm going to create a little workspace that I can use to refinish the metal frame of that surround. In order to do that, I need a sheltered space that's not inside my house that I can use chemicals and I can just kind of leave the project. Because knowing me, when I'm doing something, if it's impeding on a space that I use daily or I have to worry about keeping my dog away from it, I just rush through the project because I don't have time to leave it, keep it contained, and then pick it back up when I'm able to. So yeah, I just really need a space to do that. So while this is something that will help me for this project, it'll also help me with many future projects to come. So I was at the point this morning where I was looking at sheds and how much it would cost to get one delivered or even installed. And then I started thinking about adding electrical to it. And then I realized I was getting way ahead of myself. And that's just not where I'm at right now. I can't financially do that. And like, that's a nice dream and an end goal for later on down the road. But right now I have a shed that's not in great condition. I don't know that I can even really fully stand up in it without hitting my head on the rafters. But it's a shed, it's a space. There's a lot of little cracks and crevices that animals can get in. Yeah, so it's not ideal or perfect, but I have a lot of stuff in there right now that I need to just either sell on Facebook Marketplace or organize or decide if I really want to keep, because there's been kind of a catch-all for a bunch of chemicals and tools and stuff. When I moved in, I just kind of threw everything in there. So I need to organize it, clean it up a bit, and then I think it would be a pretty decent space to do some refinishing stuff. So I'm going to work on that today. I didn't charge my phone last night, so we'll see how much of this I can actually record. Okay, so this is my shed. I really just need to clean it out because, as you can see, it's just general chaos in here. And there is some pretty good storage areas. There's like a bench here, a filing cabinet, some racks and things to put things overhead. So I have decent use of the space. And there's even like a little pegboard over here and another table. Yeah, so I've got places to put things. I just need to organize it. And it's just gross in here too. I think maybe I'll just kind of take everything out of it and organize and then bring everything back in, and that way I can see like all the surfaces that I'm working with. I don't know if that one is currently being used. Okay, phew, that one's empty. Okay, things are starting to look a little better. I've got a lot of it cleared out. It is so gross in here though. Yeah, this came with a Facebook Marketplace purchase. I wanted the table. They were selling it as a set, so there's these two old mismatched chairs that came with it. I just don't know what to do with it. This is the other chair. I do really like this one. It's like a little chair from school. Oh, there's a cricket. Crickets really freak me out. It's just the way that they jump. And I've encountered a few already. I'm just not a fan. Okay, I'll give you a different angle here. So there's this filing cabinet sitting right here. And I think if I move that underneath this little table, I can push this bench forward and then I can put this piece of wood in the corner. I really don't know if I'm going to be strong enough to move this bench, and I'm also not supposed to be doing any heavy lifting with my vein procedure. It's absolutely filthy in there. I've got a bucket with some soapy water, so I'm gonna just try and wipe everything down, like top down, and sweep everything out at the bottom to kind of start with a fresh, clean slate here. Over here. Okay, so here's everything emptied out. Now we just have to get everything back in. Okay, now my dilemma is all of the big things. I just don't know the best way to organize this and still have room on the floor to do stuff. So I'm just gonna start bringing them in. Wow, I have so much room. Okay, so I have all the main stuff in, and I have so much space. Look at all that floor space I have. So it is a couple days later, and I ended up getting my solo stove. I'm gonna just kind of fit everything in place to see how it all looks together and just, you know, make sure everything fits correctly. Which I got this stand just to raise everything up to the correct height also. So I want to make sure that that all looks okay. And then I didn't end up putting the ring back around the bottom yet because I'm just gonna refinish that stuff pretty soon anyways. All right, this is working out pretty much exactly how I wanted it to. Yeah, so just imagine that ring kind of around the middle there, which it fits pretty perfectly. And then, you know, it just kind of looks like a table that has a fire pit in it. Today is Halloween and I just went to go run some errands, and then I figured that I would go ahead and get some pumpkins because I'm passing out candy, or at least putting a bowl on my front porch, and I just didn't want to only have a bowl and no other decorations. So I went to get some pumpkins and I went to this church. It was just this sweet old man, and so I got all of these pumpkins. Can you see these pumpkins? I got all of those pumpkins for $19. So he said, I don't even remember what prices he said for the bigger ones, and I only had 2 small ones. And then he says, he looks at me and he goes, the small ones are free. And he was like, just grab a couple more on your way out. So I was like, well, okay, thanks. And then he helped me load them up into my car. I just love that place. I've been feeling really run down the past couple of days. So yeah, the first night that I was going to use the solo stove was going to be tonight because I wanted to sit out there with my dog while people are trick-or-treating. That way I can leave the bowl out front on the porch and she's not freaking out that she's hearing kids like grabbing candy all throughout the night. So I'm going to do that. And so I put the solo stove in the fire ring even though I haven't refinished it yet. And I'm just kind of nervous. Like, I hope it's safe. That ring that I pulled the mesh out from at the bottom, I put that back on the table to make it sturdier. And I didn't film that because I honestly didn't think I was gonna film this first firing, but I don't know. I'm just gonna do it because I just want to make sure that it burns okay and that everything is safe and that everything works correctly. I think I'm just gonna start with 3.